apologize to you for having to hear and see me for a second time today, and for those very unlucky ones, a third time. As a recovering history teacher, I want to tie in the SBA's history to where we are today, since we're living historic times. In 1983, the SBA was formed as a byproduct of the Windy Hill Railroad Trestle Project. The Smyrna business community came together to finance the project's feasibility survey for the Georgia Department of Transportation. Those efforts of the SBA culminated in the completion of the railroad overpass and the dedication of the Arthur T. Bacon Memorial Bridge 5 years later. Today, nearly 40 years later, our bridge building at the Smyrna Business Association is far from over, as we continue to build bridges between Smyrna businesses, Smyrna professionals, and the Smyrna community through outreach programs, education, and networking initiatives. Today, I'm asking you to join the Smyrna Business Association to get connected to one of the 10 fastest growing cities in Georgia and one of Money Magazine's 50 best places to live in 2018. So joining and renewing is simple. Visit smyrnabusiness.org to sign up for membership, which is $85 all year long and will not be prorated. So now is the time to join and maximize that value. Join the Smyrna Business Association. It's where Smyrna connects.
Awesome, thank you so much. I'll share on my screen here, as Ian mentioned, you can join on our website. For new members, click the Join Us page. You can create an account and a new member profile. For renewing members, you'll be able to log in, click subscriptions, and then renew to the far right. As Ian mentioned, it's $85 for all members this year, and we are excited to have you. In addition to our members, we can't do what we do without our entire sponsor group, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of our sponsors this year. On the screen now, you'll see a list of all of our current sponsors. As you're doing business in Smyrna, be sure to look out for these supporters of the Smyrna business community. Next, I'd like to turn the program over to our interim assistant city administrator, Penny Mosheri, who's going to give us our Smyrna city update.
Yes, I am, and let me get my camera on. I'm not very good at this. I apologize. You guys would think as many of these meetings as we'd be having that we're all old hat at logging on now, but I'm sorry, so I apologize. My name's Penny Mosheri. I'm the interim assistant city administrator, and I'm here to guide and give you guys a Smyrna update. For those of you guys who I haven't met yet, it's lovely to meet you. I've only been in this role for the past 3 months, I think, and I've been at the city just about a year. There's a lot happening in the city, and I just have a couple kind of admin things to touch on, and then I'll touch on some of the department's information. Kind of from the mayor, council, and administration, one of the things that we really want to stress is the rising number of COVID cases that we're seeing throughout the region and throughout the state, and remind everybody that we do have a mask mandate in the city of Smyrna. Obviously, businesses do have an opt-out for that, and we do still have all that information up on our website if anybody needs it. But the cases that are rising exponentially. It's putting a big pressure on our hospitals, according to Dr. Rios at Emory. We heard from him earlier this week. So just a reminder to everyone to please wear a mask, try to socially distance as much as you can, and remember to wash your hands for everybody. The second one is we've had some concerns for commercial sanitation users in the city, and as the business owners in our city, you may have had some problems. I want to let you know we met with Advanced Disposal just this week, and they have committed to providing better service for our businesses that receive those services. So keep us in mind if you have problems with that, but we are working to make that better. We also recently had some issues with our online bill pay system for people who have water utilities in the city. That is currently back operational. It was the result of an upgrade that happened at the worst time possible, right before the holidays. So the fixed teams were not exactly readily available with our service provider, but we now have it fixed. If you encounter problems, you can always call me or anyone on our team. We can help you get on. We also have instructions on the website about that. The museum wanted to let you guys know that they're still open for ticketed tours on Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4. You can go to www.smyrnahistorymuseum.com for information and to sign up. And then a couple really important things coming out of our community development department, specifically for business owners. We are still having the extension of the waiver for temporary sign permits, which was something we put in place as a result of COVID to allow people to give better access to their businesses and let people know they were open. Businesses can place temporary signage on the property without the need for a permit, and that waiver is set to expire now on Friday, April 30th. So a few more months of that. Also, the city, in an acknowledgement of the COVID environment, has created a license flex payment program for alcohol licenses. It basically allows the licensee to break their license fees into smaller payments up until May 31st. The details of that program and the application are going to be provided on our website under the COVID section. And you can apply right at our community development department with the deadline of being Friday, January 29th, so right at the end of the month. And that is all I was given to report on, but I'm happy to answer questions if anybody has anything. Otherwise, thank you for letting me join you guys today.
Thank you so much, Penny. And thank you to all the city employees who have been working to keep the city going amid these just crazy times. So thank you so much. I know I saw William Parker on the call. If there are any other city employees who've joined us today, thank you very much for all the hard work that you've been doing over the last several months. And with that, I'm going to turn the program over to our keynote speaker. I am thrilled to have with us Reggie Kelly. And Reggie is the founder and owner of Kaivan Foods. The four most important things to him begin with F, faith, family, food, and the fourth is football, but not only from the standpoint of a fan. He enjoyed playing for 13 years in the NFL with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Atlanta Falcons. Several years ago, Reggie began planning for his career after the NFL by creating Kaivan Foods, a line of innovative, soul-stirring sauces and seasonings. While food products are at the core of the Kaivan brand, promoting togetherness for family and friends through shared meals is their central vision. Reggie loves giving back to the community and helping kids is his passion. He volunteers as a football and basketball coach for 11 and 12-year-old boys, where he teaches them how to excel on and off the field through hard work and integrity. Reggie's motto is simple yet effective. If you do the little things right, the big things will follow. Please join me in welcoming Reggie. We're so glad that you could join us today.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be on, and want to wish everybody a happy new year. And I think I got a new happy new year's back. Did I not? Shake of the head. Good.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let me start with my keynote, if that's okay. In the NFL, every team is looking for an edge. Each week poses for a different challenge, but every NFL team has to properly strategize in order to get an edge. Offensive coordinators, they are devising game plans weekly with their intent on featuring their star players like a Julio Jones. But offenses can't just be one-dimensional. If that's the case, they will become very stagnant. So offensive coordinators are very smart. They also devise running plays for running backs like Todd Gurley to score multiple touchdowns. Football is almost like a chess match because the offenses are wanting to be high-powered and high-flying, but yet the defenses are geared toward doing the opposite, stopping those guys from scoring. So defensive coordinators, they devise exotic blitz packages to stop those offenses and to confuse offensive linemen. Defensive coordinators, they disguise their coverages in order to prompt quarterbacks to throwing interceptions. Each team uses its strengths in order to exploit the opponent's weaknesses. The correct strategy gives every NFL team an advantage, and the team with the greatest edge wins. My friends, in the NFL, as it is in business, there's really only one objective: to win. You didn't start your company just to get by. You're not in business just to maintain. You started your business to get an edge. You're in business to win. But my question to you today is, how far are you willing to push the envelope? How much time are you willing to invest? How creative are you willing to be in order to win? If you do the little things right, the big things will follow. So guys, tell me, what is your edge? Greetings again, guys, and want to wish you guys again a happy new year. So thankful for the opportunity to be here and so grateful for that introduction. I hardly didn't recognize who you guys were introducing because, man, there was so much positive in that bio. And I'm appreciative for the opportunity to be here. David Monroe is a good friend of mine. We go way back, reached out to me a few weeks ago and gave me and invited me to come speak to this group. And so I am extremely, extremely honored to do this, especially entering and beginning this new year. So if you guys don't mind, what I would like to do right now is give you the Kyvan Foods story and add a few pointers along the way. Is that okay? By shake, is that okay? Good. In 1999, Dan Reeves and the Atlanta Falcons drafted me in the second round of that year's draft. I was the 42nd pick, the first tight end taken overall. I played 5 NFL seasons with the Atlanta Falcons, 8 NFL seasons with Marvin Lewis in the Cincinnati Bengals, for a total of 13 seasons. While I played in the NFL, I never just wanted to be considered an athlete. I've always wanted to take all of my God-given talents and put them on display. So while I was a player, I wrote a book. The book is named Prepared: Body, Mind, and Spirit. The reason why I wrote this book is that I want to encourage people that regardless of what you go through in life, remember those small things are getting you prepared for something bigger and better in life. And ultimately, I believe that the good Lord placed us all down here on earth to get us prepared to go to heaven. But not only did I write a book called Prepared: Body, Mind, and Spirit, I started a food company by the name of Kyvan Foods, which is the reason why I'm here today. This particular venture, it wasn't intentional, wasn't something that my wife and I intended to do. It was strictly organic. Finishing up my last few years in the NFL, I wanted to work in the NFL front office. I was well deemed and on my way to do just that. But it's funny how life takes you on a different path. And so I ended up not doing what I really wanted to do, which was working in the NFL front office. So you may be asking yourself, well, how did you transition from football to food? Or as I like to put it, from the gridiron to the cast iron. I'm so glad you asked. You guys are so nosy too. But I'm glad that you asked. It was a simple process. My wife and I, we love kids. And so we love giving back to the community. So when I was a player, we used to throw free football camps for the kids in my hometown of Aberdeen, Mississippi. We wanted to reward the kids who exemplified great academic excellence. So we gave them a free football camp, free NFL gear. I flew down some of my teammates to reward the kids, and the kids had a blast. I want kids to understand, even to this day, that when you do good, you will receive good. And that hard work definitely does pay off. Well, after the event, and for that matter, after anything in Mississippi, oh, you're gonna have some good food, guys. And so my family and my wife's family cooked for all the volunteers, and my teammates couldn't stop raving about our family recipes. Raving to the point where one of my teammates' wife called my wife and said, Sheila, you guys really do need to do something with your family recipes. We really didn't know much about the food industry. Really didn't have a clue about what was going on, but I've always been passionate about food for whatever rhyme or reason. I always have liked to eat great food and try new menu options. And so even though I didn't know anything about the industry, I was very, very passionate. And the one thing I've learned about when you're passionate about something, if you don't have a clue, you'll find one. If you don't have understanding, you'll figure it out some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because I believe that your passion fuels your purpose. And so my wife and I did our homework. We studied, we worked extremely hard. And now we have before our eyes Kyvan Foods. Now, Kyvan sounds like a weird name, but it's basically the combinations of my kids' name. My daughter's name is Kyla. My son's name is Kaven. We combine the two to come up with Kyvan. So they are the inspiration behind our product line. We specialize in, one of our edges is we specialize in innovative, in most cases, never before seen products with flavor combinations that are extremely different. And here's the kicker. Most of our products only use clean, natural ingredients with health benefits. Products like the first ever sweet potato barbecue sauce. Yeah, you heard me right. We use sweet potatoes raised and grown in North Carolina, natural hickory smoked, robust tomatoes, onions, garlic, honey. Oh my, I'm getting hungry, guys. How about you? And that's how we started our business, with innovation. And I can remember the first 3 months of business, we started out with a few mom and pop stores, right? Because I didn't want to step too far out there because I didn't understand the business. I would rather have erred on the side of caution if I was going to start a business of this magnitude that I want it to be. But it's amazing, within 3 months of starting our business and we're kind of tiptoeing into this thing, I scheduled a meeting with a Walmart buyer. Yeah. 3 months, I was green, didn't know much about the industry, didn't know much about food, didn't know anything about the terminology, retail terminology, especially anything in regards to that space. And here I am, only been in business for 3 months. How dare I go and schedule a meeting with Walmart? Went to the meeting with the Walmart buyer, and I thought I killed it. You know, I thought I smashed it. I thought I gave an outstanding presentation to the buyer, and the buyer leaned back in his seat, leaned back forward, had a great poker face. And he said, you know what, Reggie, I don't know, but there's something about you. I'm going to give you a shot. Huh? Moi? Really? He said, yeah, there's something about you. I'm going to give you a shot. I was a little perplexed at the moment because I couldn't quite figure it out, because before I went to the meeting, I had heard horror stories from people in the industry of Walmart is this, Walmart is that. Oh, they're tough. It's going to be extremely hard. You got to have sales. You got to have longevity in the industry. But yet I took a chance and decided to present to him anyway. And the buyer said that he was going to give me a shot. There's 3 very important lessons that I took from that particular meeting that I had with that corporate buyer. The first lesson that I took from that particular meeting is when I left is that people invest in people. And people always enjoy doing business with people that they like. Let me remind you that the buyer, he didn't say, there's something about your products. I'm going to give your product a shot. And we had great products, but he didn't say that. He didn't say there's something about your service, which we were going to give them a great service. He didn't say that. He didn't even say there's something about your great sales. He couldn't have said that because we didn't have any, right? Only been in business for 3 months. So I know that didn't impress him. But what he told me is that people invest in people. He said there's something about you. And that meant the world to me. The second point that I learned from that particular meeting is that you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. When you get your opportunities, guys, you got to kick the door down and hit the floor running and don't look back. You got to be prepared. The third and the last thing that I learned, which was very, very important to me, is that if you do the little things right, the big things will follow. See, what I failed to mention to you guys is that when I did schedule that meeting with Walmart, I knew I didn't know anything about the industry. I knew I had limited knowledge. I knew I was going into a situation that was over my head. So what I did was almost every day leading up to that meeting, I would go to my local Walmart stores, believe it or not. I would walk up and down the aisles looking at my competitors and the categories that my product was in. I will look at their labeling, look at my competitors' packaging, their price point, compare their nutritional panels to my nutritional panels, compare their ingredient list to our ingredient list, trying to find an edge on how I could give a proper presentation to persuade the buyer to give me a shot. But I didn't stop right there. Here, I'm going to do business with Walmart stores. So I need to know Walmart inside and out. So every day I would go up and down the aisles, reading certain words, trying to figure out what they meant. E-D-L-P. How do you pronounce E-D-L-P? What is it? Edelip? Is that Edolip? Is that French? What does EDLP? Excuse me, ma'am, you work here at Walmart. Could you tell me what does EDLP mean? Oh, yes, sir. That means everyday low pricing. Walmart's going to give you the best possible price. So we're not like traditional grocery stores. You get the best possible price, EDLP. And every day I would go into Walmart stores, asking questions. I can guarantee now that I look back at it, those Walmart employees probably thought I was a spy from Walmart's corporate office because I was just that intent on finding out some information from them. Well, it got to the point that that buyer, he pretty much knew that I had limited knowledge. I had told him that I'd only been in business for 3 months, but he could tell I did my homework. He could tell that the little knowledge that I didn't know, that I was on point. I was detailed. I focused on the little nuances of Walmart. And I gave him everything that I knew from a limited standpoint, and he was impressed by it. Doing the little things right helped me solidify an account with Walmart way back then, and we're still doing business with them today. Innovation, that's one of our edges. Doing the little things right, that's one of our edges here at Kyvan Foods. But there's one key missing ingredient that ties everything together. And that missing ingredient for us is work. W-O-R-K, work. Work is a key word that ties everything together for my entire life, even my business. My parents told me growing up that, Reggie, anything worth having, son, is worth working for. For those of you who've played in sports, and for those of you who have kids in sports, what do coaches always tell our kids? Hard work pays off. Shucks, I believe so much in hard work that I tailor what the Bible says, that faith without works is dead. It means that important to me. It's that important to me. Work became so important to me that years ago, I came up with a definition for the word work, and I took each letter word by word, letter by letter, to create an acronym, if you will, to give you my definition of work. And because of time's sake, I'm going to abbreviate it. But this is what work means to me. The W in work means I will not give up. I will not quit. Because defeat is a temporary situation, but giving up makes it permanent. Even when I present products to buyers, I've been handed so many no's. No, Reggie, no, Reggie, no, Reggie, no, Reggie. But to me, no is another acronym that means next opportunity. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Tell yourself you would never give up. The O in work stands for optimistic. It's important to be positive, guys. All right. And I know in today's time, and sometimes on the job, it's hard to be positive. It's hard to be positive, especially throughout this pandemic. But I was told a long time ago that your problem is not really the problem, but how you view your problem will determine if you have a problem. Your attitude will determine your attitude, your altitude. Your attitude will determine your altitude. Always stay positive. The R in work stands for repeat. My college coach told me a long time ago that, Reggie, if you do the same thing correctly for 30 straight days, you would have mastered it. He was just telling me, don't be afraid to repeat things. For the age-old saying, it's true. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Repeat. The K in work stands for key. A key is a device used to open up something. With the right keys, you can open your house doors. With the right keys, you can crank your car. The right key, you have access to a computer. Your keys give you access. The services as a business that you guys perform, that gives you access. That's your keys. Your talents as an individual, those are your keys. When you use your keys in the right environment, you will flourish. So you hold the keys to your future. Work simply means I will not give up. I will not quit. I will always stay optimistic, even if it means I have to repeat the same thing over and over again, because I believe that my gifts and my talents are the keys that would open up opportunities. Here at Kyvan Foods, Innovation is our edge. Doing the little things right is our edge. And hard work is our edge. But again, I ask you, what's yours? Thank you guys for entertaining me, and I appreciate the opportunity to come and give the keynote. I pray that God continue to bless you guys. And what I would like to do right now, if it's okay with you, Sarah, whenever I go speak, I speak at a number of different places. And whenever I do speak, I always like to make it fun. As you guys noticed in my particular address to you, I was very redundant by saying some of the same words, topics over and over again. I repeated them slowly for a reason. Very purposeful, right, Sarah? And the reason why I did that was because I love doing giveaways. All right, so what I would like to do, I'm going to give 3 giveaways today. We'll ship them out to your address, and we'll just ask you guys to send that address to Sarah, and Sarah, you can send them to me with the actual gift that they won. All right, so here's how we're going to do it. When I ask this question, the way that you answer the question is that you send a message to Sarah, and then Sarah will read off the message, the answer, and the person who answers correctly first will be the one who wins. Now, we can only have 1 winner per gift, and we only give them away 3 gifts, right, Sarah?
That's right. So and after Reggie gives you the question, put your answer in the chat box. Do that to everyone, and we will look to see who's got the right answer first.
Right,
Take it away, Reggie.
Here we go. Here's the first question. Here's the first question. So, which should be an easy question. Come on, guys. Okay. What is the name of my food company, and where did the inspiration of the name come from?
All right, we've got Ian, said Kaivan, and your children. I think that is the first right answer there. So.
Whoa, sweet potato barbecue sauce is coming your way, big guy. And then some honey apple salsa is coming your way as well. Yes, indeed. That's the first winner. Here's the second question. Here's the second question. Oh, that was pretty quick too, man. You was on point, huh? You sat at the front. You sat at the front of the classroom, huh, when you were in school, right? Yeah, you did.
He's a former teacher, so he's on top of this stuff. He knows.
There it is. There it is. Well, here's the second question. Who can tell me the full name of my book, and why did I write the book? Who can tell me the full name of the book that I wrote, and why did I write it?
Chazelle is partway there.
Almost there.
You have the rest, Giselle?
There it is.
Okay, we got a couple. We got to have why. Why did he write it?
Now, why did I write it? Why? That is very, very important. Why did I write it? I made sure I specifically slowed down and said it twice, the reason why I wrote it.
India, Jamie, Chazelle, you're almost there. Ah!
Getting close, guys. Come on, guys. Getting close. Preparation is important to his success. Yes, it is important to my success. Sarah, what do you think? What do you think, Sarah? Are we going to take just the best answer, or we have to take the correct answer, Sarah? Which one is it going to be?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that decision to you, Reggie. Which is closest to your
Sarah, I don't want to be the bad guy. See, that's why I put you on the spot and told you had to do it. So you have
Thanks so much.
Well,
you know what? I'm gonna give this one to Chazelle. I think Chazelle got the name first, and she has chimed in here, so I'm gonna give this one to Chazelle.
There, here's a copy. You get a copy of my book. Would you like for me to autograph it, or you just want it without my John Hancock? What do you want?
I would love to have it autographed. Thank you so much.
Make sure I autograph that, and we'll get that in the mail to you ASAP. All right?
Thank you.
Now, here's the final one. This is really a trick question. It's really a trick question because I didn't mention this in my address at all. So for those of you who have your phones, be ready to Google. You know, I don't mind cheating. I had a coach told me a long time ago, if you don't cheat, you don't try. So if you're not cheating, you ain't trying. So if you like that, Ian? You like
Nice.
That's hilarious. I love it.
So here we go. So I'm gonna ask this question. You guys get ready to Google it. So my daughter and I, throughout the pandemic, my daughter and I have created a new company. It's a hair and skincare line. My 16-year-old daughter, that is. I mean, so she's into beauty products and she's into all this different stuff. And so she said, Dad, let's work on something I like. So she convinced me to work on a skin and hair care line. Can anybody tell me the name of this new company that we've created?
I see a lot of heads down. Everybody's Googling. Oh, we've got, Kai Van Body Essentials.
Ivan Body Essentials. You're absolutely
Shauna K.
So who won that one?
Shauna K. Hunter.
Donna K. Hunter. So what we're going to do is we're going to send you 6 of our natural and organic, certified organic lip balms as well. We have our soothing coconut, our It's Meant to Be strawberry extreme, our watermelon flavor one, and our acai berry licious. Oh, so good. So we're going to give you 6 of our lip balms. Is that okay?
Awesome.
All right, that's good. All right, here we go. So that concludes our giveaway process. I'm sorry, if for those of you who didn't get a giveaway, we'll just put it on a layaway plan for next time, okay? So make sure we. But thank you guys so much. Now, Sarah, do we want to go into any questions? It's 12:45, or do you guys want to proceed with the rest of today's topics?
No, I'd love to open up the floor for some questions.
Yes,
Anyone?
I'm sorry, Sarah, but if you guys want to ask questions, you can feel free. It doesn't necessarily have to be limited to business. Again, whenever I do in events like this, people ask me questions about my upbringing, football, Super Bowl, whatever the case may be. So we don't necessarily have to keep it, down to just football. So any question that you guys have, I do my best to answer those questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
So you are a very, very talented speaker, and I'm not sure they teach that in football. But did you ever take public speaking classes? Were you raised by a preacher? You have a very natural way of talking.
No, I've never taken any public speaking classes. It just it has always come natural to me. I've always been able to speak. I've always been able to convey a point and pretty much convey that point to the point where people really appreciate it and it really resonates with people. It's just a gift the good Lord has given me. And I try to use the gift as much as I can. So anytime I, have opportunities to speak at schools or churches or, different meeting events, different business functions, I try to take advantage of it. It's just something that I really, really enjoy doing. And I've been asked by a number of people, to perhaps maybe take some classes, some speaking classes, but, that may be something I could do in the future. But I enjoy just taking some of the things that I've learned through life and making it somewhat comical. Well, hopefully it can apply to other people's lives as well. And I try to be as transparent as I can too when I speak. And I think that perhaps maybe that resonates with people as well. That's a great question.
It is. You're very genuine, and you understand the benefits of a good pause. And I don't think you need to take the lessons. I think you should teach the lessons.
I agree. Great talent.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm not on the screen to show you my face, but today is not a good day for me post-surgery. So I'm glad I was here to hear you now.
I hope you have a speedy recovery. Thank you so much. That compliment meant a lot to me. I appreciate it. It goes much farther than you can realize. Sometimes, you have talents and you want to put them on display, and you want to make sure that you're using your talents so they can be a benefit. It can benefit others. I love speaking to kids, especially kids. Kids are my passion. And let me say that. Kids are my passion. I coach 8th grade football, 9th grade football, varsity football, basketball. And the reason why I coach, I don't necessarily coach for wins and losses. Yeah, who don't like winning? We all like to win, right? But one of the main reasons why I coach is that, I want to teach kids life through sports. I've learned so many life lessons playing the game of football. And if I could teach kids and just sit back and kind of relate to them, and just talk to them about life and try to get, beneath the surface so that they can make the right decision and make the right choices. And then when they make the wrong choices, to still talk to them from a standpoint of, hey, remember now, you were a teenager once before too, Reggie. How did you think when you were a teenager? And so I just try to mix all that together, and hopefully the good Lord will be pleased with me in the effort that I'm trying to bring to life.
Reggie, I do have a question for you. My name is Chazelle, and I do agree you are a dynamic speaker, and I thoroughly enjoyed your presentation today. You mentioned before that you are in business with your wife, and so my question to you is, what is that work-life balance? What does that look like for you, and how do you guys manage marriage, family, and business?
I did an interview just Monday with a magazine out in California, and they asked me the exact same question. So I'm ready for this one. I'm ready.
Okay.
The answer is she always wins.
Okay.
Am I right, man? See, I was born at night, but not last night.
Oh, yeah.
But it works. Sarah, you're laughing a little bit too hard on that one, huh? But it works really well. My wife is my best friend, and we've been friends since high school. We're high school sweethearts. And so before we even started dating, we were really, really good friends. And when I played in the NFL, I never really could spend a lot of time with my wife. Sports is very demanding, and it takes up a lot of your time. I mean, we have meetings early in the morning, practice. Then when you finish practice, you still have meetings. Then you have to study your game plans. Every week has a different game plan. You're always traveling. And so that was a large part of my life that I didn't spend as much time as I would have liked to spend with my wife. And so when we decided to go in business together and then name the company after our kids, I felt like, man, this is an opportunity for me to recoup some of those times where I wasn't really with my wife as much as I would like to have been. And we work really well together. My wife, she thinks somewhat like I think. She's very, very conservative. Don't like to spend a lot of money, man. Talk to me, man. Talk back to me, man.
A very good trait.
Absolutely. And she's just like me. And we pretty much are thinking on the same time frame and on the same wavelength. And so when we do have disagreements, we really just look at the positives and negatives. And if the positives outweigh the negatives, we normally go with that particular ideal. If it's my ideal or not, if it's her ideal or not, we normally go with the best idea that's going to benefit my company. No egos here. We're trying to win. And whatever it takes for us to win in our marriage, we're going to do that. Whatever it takes for us to win as business partners, we're going to do that as well. And so there's lots of times where she has to be on the phone, where she's orchestrating meetings, or when where she's actually talking to buyers. Then I'm doing the same thing. And then we just come together at the end of the day and we discuss, the different transactions. We discuss the different things that happen to us during the day. And then if we had to make a decision about that, we normally do it. So it's a really good working relationship. Now, I've talked to some of my friends that said they could never, ever work with their spouses. So, what do you think about that? Are you on board with me, or are you with like some of my friends?
Well, I am in business with my husband as well. And so we're a husband and wife marketing team. And so that's why I asked. I think it's important to, have a lot of the ingredients that you just talked about. And so like you, my husband and I went to college. And so we were best friends before we got married. And so I think that that's a good recipe for success as well. So yes.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely correct. Friend, when your spouse is your best friends, a lot of the ways that you think, they think those same ways, and that's been very apparent in our business. And I can't attest for other businesses, but that's been the blueprint for us, and it's worked really well. We do a lot of traveling together. We go to a lot of meetings together. She knows what she has to do. I know what I have to do, and I try not to overstep my bounds. She tries not to overstep her bounds. And it's a beautiful, beautiful partnership. And even to the fact where my daughter, she watches our every move. She's a 16-year-old, right? And so I think that's really what encouraged her, because she said, Dad, I want to go in business with you. I want to start something. I said, well, okay, let's think of something. And she said, well, you know, skin and hair care is big. And so now my daughter and I, we're working together. And so I'm getting it from both ends, guys. Could y'all pray for me, for my wife and my daughter? Help me.
Reggie, let me put it this way. My wife and I have been together 44 years in life and in work, and I'm still on probation.
Hey, Reggie, it's David Monroe. Great to see you again.
Hey, what's up, my friend? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I think yes, dear, is one of the things we all say as men, right? But I really, really appreciate you being with us and kicking off 2021 with the Smyrna Business Association. I just wish we could have done this in person because they don't understand. I don't think they get Reggie, you know, through a Zoom video. This man is 6'4". I mean, he towers over everybody, and he's had a great career in NFL. And so tell us how your products are doing in the grocery stores, all the supermarkets during COVID. How's that helped you or hurt you?
David, I appreciate you bringing that question to light too. And I want to backtrack a little bit. David and I have been knowing each other for quite some time. David, when I think the first couple of years or so, David, when I started the business, correct, David came in and helped mentor me and gave me some great advice and great direction. And we've kept that relationship for many, many years now. And David, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate your mentorship, and I appreciate you always looking out for me throughout the years. In regards to our business, in regards to COVID, there are three areas that we focus on in our business: e-commerce, food service, and retail. And I can tell you, two of those got hit pretty hard when the pandemic rolled around. We all know food service took a really big hit. And a lot of our customers, you know, we do business with Cisco and some of the major distributors. We do business with some really nice restaurant chains as well, and some independents also. And some of those got hit really hard. Hit really hard to the point where some of those restaurant independents as well didn't bounce back. And I really did hate that, not necessarily from a business standpoint, from my business, but from the standpoint, I just hate to see any company just go under like that. But it did affect our business. The food service industry did take our business down a notch. And so it did also with retail. We lost one of our big accounts doing retail, which was Publix. Publix was a huge account for us. We ended up losing that account, and that hurt our business also. So my wife and I said, well, what are we going to do? Either we're going to sit here and mope, or we're going to re-strategize. We're going to pivot. We're going to figure out a way to still make the most out of this opportunity. Because again, either I win or either I learn. I never lose. There's something that I'm going to get out of the situation. And so my wife and I said, well, listen, because this is a pandemic, most people are really, really geared up to doing online shopping now. I had a meeting with Weight Watchers a few months ago, and Weight Watchers said because of the pandemic, their sales are up 300% online sales. So that is key to me. And my wife and I figured that obviously it's a no-brainer. So with the pandemic, everybody was geared toward online shopping. So my wife and I said, well, things are not going good for us as far as food service. Lost one of our bigger accounts, even with retail. But man, online shopping is on fire right now. Right? So what we need to do is let's pivot. Let's beef up our online platforms. All right, let's make sure we give some really nice, relevant, engaging content. And let's make sure that we shoot and really reach out to a lot of online platforms as well to get more exposure online. And we did just that, and it worked out perfectly. And one company that we had tremendous success with during this pandemic was QVC and HSN. They aired us 4 times. And wow, maybe a few more times than that, but at least 4 times they aired us on their program, and we're up on their website as well. And because we decided to pivot, because we decided not to just give up, not to throw in the towel, not to mope, not to gripe and complain, you know, we figured out there's a way, and there's always a way. You just got to figure it out. You got to be strategic about it. And sometimes you got to be creative. And even if it means you got to step outside your comfort zone. Man, it's easy just to send bulk products to Cisco and then let their chefs cook with the product. That's easy to do. It's easy to ship product to retail stores. Yeah, you have to do some marketing, but that's pretty easy to do. This online thing, man, you got to be creative because people are always looking for a gadget. They're always looking for something to garner their attention. I tell you, one of my favorite companies, and they are a competing brand, but man, I just love the way that they are engaging people. It's Frank's Red Hot Sauce. That old lady on there said, I put that hot sauce on it. I mean, that is one of my favorite companies as far as how they engage their consumers. And it's funny, it's comical, but it gets the point across. And because of that, they're doing extremely well. And it's a nice little thing that they do. And so we had to make sure that we had the proper content that was going to draw people our way. And that helped our sales increase tremendously on Walmart.com platform, Kroger.com platform, Amazon. We're working with Amazon Fresh as well, HSN, QVC, and there's a few more too that we're working with. And that has continued to increase, and we're continuing to talk to other companies as well to build up that online platform, especially now, you know, when winter season, I guess you could say, you know, flu season as well. So we want to make sure that, you know, we take advantage of any opportunity that we have.
Hey, Reggie, thanks again. Everybody make sure you connect with him on social media. He's got all of the social medias hooked up. That's one of the things we worked on together. And he does a great job with the social media. You want to tell them which ones you're on?
Yes, well, you guys can always go to LinkedIn. You can follow our Kyvan page on LinkedIn or my personal page on LinkedIn as well, Reggie Kelly. But we're also on Facebook, Instagram, Kyvan82, and Reggie Kelly 82 as well. For those of you who don't know what 82 means, I should have had a question to get away. But what does the number 82 stand for? Did you guys know?
Your number.
Absolutely, my jersey number.
I would have gotten that one, Reggie.
Absolutely. So you guys can check us out. You can always visit our website at kyvan82.com. And I look forward, honestly, to hopefully one day, you know, meeting you guys in person. I love, you know, just sitting down, talking to people, learning your stories, you know, seeing where you started to where you're at right now, not just in business, but just in life. And hopefully one day we'll get a chance to do just that.
Yeah, Reggie, we would love to invite you to a lunch when we get back in person and give you an opportunity to meet everybody. And, you know, just due to COVID, had to do this virtually. But once we get back open, I will extend an invitation to you. We'd love to have you come visit us in Smyrna.
Absolutely. That sounds like a plan. I definitely appreciate you guys. And, you know, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Hope you guys have a great start. Hope you're having a great start to the year. And hope we have a blast this 2021 year.
Awesome. Well, Reggie, as a thank you, the Smyrna Business Association is going to be making a donation to your charity of choice, Platform of Hope. Do you want to give us just a 1-minute blurb about what your what Platform of Hope does?
Yes, Platform of Hope, they're an Atlanta-based company, and they are geared toward helping those who are less fortunate, clothe those who are less fortunate as well. And they go above and beyond to helping those here in Atlanta. Again, you know, I'm very adamant about going back, reaching out in the community and helping those who've been dealt a bad hand. You know, you just never know when life is going to hit, and when it hits hard. It could be natural disasters that's causing those hard times. It could be financial difficulties that have caused those hard times. But whatever the case may be, not my position to judge. It's just my position to come in and show God's love by helping them out. And so that's what we try to do. And we just appreciate you guys willing to give to such a great cause as this. And I believe it's better to give than to receive. And it's always good to help out our neighbors. Who are our neighbors? People that's from our neighboring cities, neighboring towns, neighboring states, neighboring countries. We plan to continue to do just that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the meeting. I'll leave the Zoom here live for a few minutes if anybody wants to ask some questions or connect with anyone. I appreciate everybody joining us for the first luncheon of 2021. I'll adjourn the meeting, and I look forward to seeing everybody soon.
Thank you,
Reg.
Take care. Thank you, guys.
Take care, everyone.